Hello and welcome to Rick's RC Flying Channel. Now it's been a couple of weeks since I've been able to get a video out there. I was rather busy making short kits for the giant sweet and low, and not to mention I ended up with a cold and I'm trying to shake that. I'm starting to feel a bit better now, so I thought I would at least try to get a short video out on some of the upcoming projects for this year. And one of them I'm rather excited about. I did purchase this particular one about, well, I think it was about 5, 6 months ago. It was last year. It was a little bit on sale, and I've always kind of wanted to get into this type of model. And so I took the leap. Now, all my modeling has always been either glow engines or eventually, of course, gas powered, and I do dabble in some electric models as well. And this particular one is an ARF, obviously, and it's made by Hangar 9. It's an MB-339, which is modeled after an Italian military jet, which was actually an advanced trainer. It even served as a light attack aircraft. Uh, the MB-339 uh, was developed during the 1970s, been around for quite a while. And the fact that it was a advanced trainer makes this a good entry level jet. Uh, it has the characteristics that you'd expect from a training type aircraft. A stable platform, and definitely a lot easier to handle than something like a starfighter. So I decided to take that leap. I chose the Hangar 9 because I did purchase one a few years back. I normally, as you know, I build my airplanes, but I don't shy away from ARFs during certain models or certain times. Um, the first Hangar 9 I ever purchased was this Fokker D7. And I have to admit, I've been very pleased with it. It's, of course, all wood construction, and it flies very nice. And yeah, been quite pleased with it. So this being a Hangar 9 product, this particular jet is basically plywood construction with carbon fiber reinforcing where it's needed. And of course, they use balsa sheeting where required. And it's actually, both these models, I've been quite pleased the way they're constructed. Of course, typically like ARFs like this, everything's laser cut and kind of everything fits nicely together. And, of course, being the jet, they didn't shy away from having to use carbon fiber, which is nice. The covering on the model is, it's really kind of well done. I like the color scheme, the top being like this and the bottom being a solid color. Should be able to figure out which is right side up. And like typically any build I'm involved with, whether it's another modeler's airplane or mine, wherever I can, I do check all the joints. And the other thing is, like in this particular case, when the flaps are down, you can see raw wood, things like that. I'll end up painting that black or gray or green, depending what I decide. But just to kind of enhance its look a little bit. And but otherwise, and I'll tell you, both of my Hangar 9 airplanes, the covering holds up quite well. I mean, this one here, that's been in the box, I think roughly like around 6 months, and has experienced temperature changes and what have you. And there's really no wrinkles per se. The odd one, which is very easy to eliminate. And even the Fokker D7, I've had it, out in the summer, hot days, uh, really negligible effects on the covering. So that was really nice to see. And because I've seen some models, other modelers had, and they sometimes are really affected by these temperature changes. And the other thing is, I've been rather lucky. Both of the models that I ended up getting when it came to unboxing it for the first time, which is always a little bit nerving. You're always afraid that something might be damaged. And both of these, on the initial unboxing, nothing was wrong with the airplanes, no damage, no scratches. So I was pleasantly surprised. I've had fellow modelers bring me their ARFs from other manufacturers, and I would build them for them. And during that first unboxing, I've had it happen where the covering was damaged, or worse yet. So I don't know if I got lucky or just the packaging was by Hangar 9 was good. Now, one of the reasons I also chose this as an entry-level airplane, particularly an ARF, is to save a lot of time because I have quite a few projects this year. And I liked it because it came a rather comprehensive package. It came with quite a few of the components that you need. And anyways, it's reasonably well constructed. I really don't have any complaints. This is a metal fitting. This is a horizontal stab and elevator. The hinges look good, steel pinned. They actually look a lot like Robart hinges. This is the rudder, vertical stab, and that. It's got carbon fiber joiners here. And again, plywood construction for the most part. Here's, as the real airplane, it has tip tanks, fiberglass, and it looks like it's joined by 2 bolts, so they're removable, which is nice, just in case you ever make contact with the runway. Particularly like on pavement, if you did, you could scratch it, or worse. But either way, they're easily removable and either replaced or you can touch it up again. The other thing it came with was a fuel tank that came with a nice aluminum mounting bracket and everything. It also came with full retracts. The main gear has electric brakes. So that's another thing I kind of like, that it came with all that. Here, for example, is the nose gear. And it looks like it's nicely made, good looking wheels and tires. So I will have to say though, my version is sort of version 1, if you will. And so it has like a civilian look to it. They have another MB-339 that came out later, and it has the military scheme on it, and that's known as version 2. And what I did notice is that the landing gear on version 2 is actually a little heavier. It's got a beefier frame. The metal's a bit thicker. So just thought I'd share that with you for what it's worth. Interestingly enough, they are interchangeable. So the version 2 landing gear will fit the version 1 airplane. But I like the idea that, that it's beefier. The other thing was it also came with the tailpipe, which is a stainless steel tailpipe. So, you get all of this. The air intakes are fiberglass. It comes with all kinds of other hardware. It comes with electronics for the retractable landing gear to do sequencing and to manage the brakes. So those are really nice. Again, one of the reasons I kind of went this route. Also, the package I chose, it came with the turbine, and this is a King Tech K85. Now, the model's rated for a 60 Newton size engine up to the 85. And I chose the one with the 85. And personally myself, whether it's my own airplanes or a fellow modeler's airplane, I always recommend to them, put in the max size engine for that model that it's rated, or whatever you can afford to put in there up to that max rating, because having reserve power, you'll never regret. because you can always throttle back to tame the airplane down. But to have that additional reserve power could save the bacon. If you pick the low end, which is fine, I mean, the airplane will fly with it. And particularly if it's an airplane you're building and you end up a little bit on the heavier side, again, another reason to have that extra power. Because if you're on the low end and, once you push that throttle all the way, whatever that power plant can deliver, that's all you're going to get. So if you're flying an airplane with a bigger power plant and you're throttled back, it's nice knowing you've got that real reserve power available. So it's something I personally recommend. But in saying that, whatever the model is rated for, I stay in those in that parameter. I'll give credit to whoever designed or engineered the airplane. If they say, well, that's max engine for it or the minimum, I stay there, because if you go beyond that, and there's always obviously I've had modelers even ask me to put bigger engines in. I refrain from doing it because you're really out of the envelope, and I personally don't think it's necessary. So I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, most of my professional career as a full-scale pilot, it's been flying jets. I love the sound of jets. I even like the aroma of exhaust from a turbine. So I miss that. So I'm looking forward to it, because all my experience, of course, is with glow and gas powered. And of course, I dabble with electric as well. So I'm pretty excited about this whole turbine thing. The turbine part is new to me, so I'm going to take it slowly, step by step. Building the airplane should be fairly straightforward. In terms of finishing all the rest of the components that I need would be, of course, the servos and the receiver and the rest of the radio electronics. But aside from that, I generally have the meat and potatoes of the airplane. So that's going to be one of the projects for this year. And I have to add as well, they did provide a lot of hatches. This entire canopy comes off the airplane. This gets bolted onto here. They actually designed it that if you wanted, you could remove this from a transportation perspective. Although for myself, once I bolt it on, it's going to stay that way. The fuselage is 79 inches long, wingspan's 84. So it's a good size, nice size airplane. They also provide a hatch back here. So this whole area is like a hatch, and there's even another hatch underneath. So should have really good access to everything, which is nice. And yeah, I'm excited about it. So if you like the video, please select like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, I always welcome them. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.